So right now I am joined with Phil Antis, Arts and Events Administrator for the City of Santa Clarita. Phil, can you tell us where we are and what we are seeing?
Well, we're at an exhibit called High Wire Act, and it's a really exciting new exhibit that ties in with the city's efforts to eradicate heroin in Santa Clarita, the Heroin Kills Initiative. And it's an exhibit created at the Arts Council of Kern County, where 4 artists address substance abuse through visual arts. And we're here at Town Center Drive, space 135, located between Abercrombie and Fitch and Pottery Barn. And Westfield Valencia Town Center has been very kind to donate this space through January 7th for this exhibit to take place.
Okay, so this is an art exhibit that has already been created, and I think it was created through a grant from Kaiser Permanente, and this was in the Bakersfield area. How did you catch wind of it, and how did it make its way here?
Well, one of our arts commissioners, Dr. Michael Miller, is actually the executive director of the Arts Council of Kern County, and so he brought it to our attention when we did the Heroin Kills Symposium in August, that there was an exhibit up there happening through their Creating Communities program, and it just timed out perfectly. And so I went up there, saw the exhibit, met with the artists, and had a conversation seeing if they would be interested in taking their exhibit and letting us bring it here, because it's just wonderful art, and it's such an important issue to help our teens and our young people try to stay off drugs and to support the families that are dealing with it. So the 4 artists who were involved with the program did wonderful work in very different approaches, but really very substantive, and it's created an exhibit that we believe is both beautiful aesthetically, but also really ties in with what we're trying to do in our community to eradicate drug use. And just to talk briefly, as you're seeing some of these images, we have 4 artists. The first one is Barbara Reed, who does photographs, and a lot of her subjects are decrepit buildings, and it's about restoration and coming out of drug use and how you have to restore yourself as a person. She does some really interesting things with the photographs. It's not just standard photographs. She really tweaks them afterwards and makes them interesting. The next one is Claire Putney, who deals with imageries of both like medical imagery as well as war imagery, kind of symbolizing that war on drugs, that internal war, not so much the national initiative, but the internal issues of trying to fight to recover. Next we have Christine McKee, and her work is really very, very powerful. They're oil paintings taken from photographs of her son who died of a heroin overdose, and the power of that is pretty phenomenal. They're great images, they're really beautiful paintings, but on another level, the impact of that is you can kind of feel through them the loss and the transition from being a young man who was connected with the world and then became isolated and unfortunately lost the battle. And then in our back room area, where the dressing rooms were in this space previously, we have the work of Christopher Lickens, and he does really interesting things with photographs and actually tweaks them to the point where they're really abstract. He starts with images that are recognizable, and some of them are really just abstract art. So we're really blessed to have these 4 artists willing to share their wonderful work, and we really appreciate definitely Westfield Town Center for making the space available for us, and also the Arts Council of Kern County for developing the program and being willing to share the work down here.
You know, people can find more about the city's, heroin problem, our community's heroin problem on heroinkills.org, but this really is a kind of another way to raise awareness.
Definitely, it's using art to really address an issue and to raise awareness, because honestly, I think most people in Santa Clarita, until they're personally impacted by the impacts of drugs, using art as a way to talk about that and open or continue the conversation is just an interesting way to approach it. And it was really important for the artists and for the city to have a more intimate relationship with the art and not have it in the first floor gallery at City Hall or at the other spaces here at Town Center, so someone can spend some time and really react to the works.
And you mentioned this exhibit is going to be running through January 7th. There's going to be a couple of events, though. I know there is an artist reception on December 9th.
That is correct. Right here in the gallery space 135 on Town Center Drive. At 6 p.m., all are invited. 3 of the 4 artists will be here. The 4th artist has actually moved to Seattle and is unable to join us. But it'll be a great opportunity. Come out, see the works, talk to the artists. And then at the end of the run on January 7th in 2012, we're having an artist lecture, and that's at 1 o'clock on January 7th. And that's an opportunity for the artists to talk to the arts community and anyone who's interested about their process of how they approach this subject, because these works were created as part of a program where they were hired, commissioned to do art on this subject. It wasn't pre-existing work, so they were basically challenged with how do you visually represent the issues of addiction and substance abuse.
Phil, I want to thank you for joining us. If you're out there, come catch the High Wire Act. It's on Town Center Drive through January 7th.